Howdy. I'm just about ready to get started. Hope you're doing okay. Hello, how's it going? I'm back. Hope you had a good break. I did, for the most part. We got like 8 inches of snow here over the weekend. So I was kind of snowed in early this week. Thanks. Trying to remember what I was working on last time. Alright, so we got our new Lynx model put in. And we can drop bombs. And I think the bombs can break stuff. Oh, that was weird. Yeah, the auto jump. That might have been what happened. I might have auto jumped on a bomb somehow. That shouldn't have been possible, but. Alright. I think what I might do next is work on some more textures for the level design. So I want to make some like stone. I think the best way to do that is probably in Blender, and like make some stuff that I can bake down onto low-res geometry. Alright, so first I'm going to add mesh plane 2 by 2 is fine. And then let's see. We'll call this one brick wall high res. And we'll hide this plane for, well, no, we'll keep it. Throw a bevel on it. Subdivision surface above the bevel. set it to simple. And then add so now I need to make this like a noise texture. Get rid of that for now. Yeah, so rather than having to hand paint the textures, I can bake the geometry into a 2D image. So it will theoretically tile and shouldn't be too difficult to set up. I know there's probably a way to do this with geometry nodes as well, which I haven't really messed around with a whole lot. Whoa. Let's see, 0.02. So one thing I can do, I can bake the normals. So like if I go into the shader editor, make a new image texture and call it brick normal, and then let's see, go in the render settings, switch this to cycles, and then I should be able to, in this render tab here, bake, and then I can set it to normal. If I check selected to active, and then I hit this bake button, if I hide that. So you kind of have the normals of the that geometry that we made baked onto this texture. So if I just add like a point light here, switch it to rendered. I can switch this back to Eevee now that we've baked. So like it has like fake normal information from the normal map that I baked, but it's literally just a plane. So yeah, that's how normal maps work. Is it basically let's see, I have back in here let's see. Alright, we'll switch this back to material preview. If I duplicate this, I'm gonna hide this one, and then I can say visual geometry to mesh. So this will collapse down any modifiers. So we have like a somewhat high poly model. I can go in here and turn on, let's see, should be able to turn on face normals. So it looks kind of crazy, but like it's showing a line pointing in the direction that every face is oriented, and since I used the texture to kind of warp the points on the mesh. And what baking does is it takes a so it takes every pixel and it looks at the high resolution geometry and looks at what direction is that pointing. Is it up, forward, left and right, whatever. And it will use red, green, and blue to represent the X, Y, and Z angle of that line that we saw here. And it basically turns that into a 2D image. And then in the shader, the shader is using that normal data for every pixel, it's like what direction would the light bounce off. So that's kind of how you get like fake depth from a normal map. Hope I'm explaining that in a way that makes sense. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, definitely do it on just like, some bricks or some floor tiles or something to get the hang of it. And really, like, the only gotchas when you're baking textures is you want to make sure when you go to bake, you have to be in cycles. You can't bake when you're in Eevee. And so you saw I went, I have selected to active, so you select the object that you want to bake, and then the object that you want to bake it to, and you can select normal here, image texture, and then you have to make sure that you have an image in on the active object that you want to bake to, has to have an image in the shader, and you have to make sure that that image is selected when you hit bake. I do want to try something else really quick, because I think I might get a slightly better bake if these bricks aren't sticking up as much. Let's see. Alright, so hide that. Okay, it looks like there were places where the plane was poking through, so I didn't quite get it how I wanted it. Let's try that again. What does it look like when I do object space instead of tangent space? No, I do want tangent, I think. So depending on what, this is getting really technical, but depending on what render engine your target software is using, so like Blender, Unreal Engine, Unity, Godot, they all have a, they're either using like Vulkan or OpenGL or DirectX, and depending on which one of those, you might need to invert one of these, or like swap which ones are which. Let me look it up real quick, actually. Because I feel like this should it should be more blue. Than it is. Let's see. I've just done this a few times. So one thing that you can do as well is you can do what they call a cage. Oh wait, I don't actually have to select anything, do I? I think I could just do that. That might work better. So the cage should basically like offset up and down a certain amount. There we go. That's what it should look like. So I think what was happening was the objects were either too close or too far away. So now this normal map should look more correct. Let's see. Eevee, where'd that light go? There we go. Yeah. That looks even more realistic than it did before. normal maps are pretty neat. So I think what I might tomorrow, not on stream, but just for my own learning, play around with some geometry node stuff inside of Blender and see if I can get a setup where I can make like brick and like floor tile setups that I can bake to normal maps, and maybe even like you know, like color and roughness and stuff like that. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I need to actually save this image. Let's see. Save as. Let's see what it looks like in here. And I'm not sure if I need to invert the Y for this one. Let's see. Standard material. We'll call this brick. Normal map. So I can actually also bake some other maps from this setup as well. Let's see. What other ones would we want? We might want an ambient occlusion. So if we go back into bake, we can select ambient occlusion, bake, and this will give us like some fake shadows. And some other cool things we could do as well is instead of just using that's weird looking. Oh, it's because I have the light. I need to turn that light off. So we could go into like sculpt mode and sculpt detail onto the bricks instead of just relying on a displacement texture. It's thinking. Huh. Oh, it's... I turned off the visibility of the light, but I didn't turn off the renderability of it. So it... Even though it was disabled, it was still showing up in the bake because it was showing up in the render. Let's try this again with no light. It's acting like there is still a light. Oh, there's a sunlight here. This one. One more time. Huh. Interesting. I'm guessing that there's some geometry in one of these collections that is enabled somehow, and that was messing with the bake. Maybe. Oh. Let's try it without the normal map plugged in, because the normal map might be doing something funky. If the collection is disabled, it shouldn't apply anything with the render, I don't think. Just gonna turn them all off. Except for the one that we want. Oh, I see. That brick there. Yeah, that makes sense. I see. There. I figured it out. I had a stray duplicate that I had left rendering. There we go. That looks more like what I was expecting. Although I'm not sure why some of it's real fuzzy. It might be because of how close the like a couple of these bricks are just like maybe intersecting too much. One more try. Yeah, they do look cool. I just want to know why they're happening. Like, why is it happening on those? Oh, I wonder. Let's see. It's these ones. No. This one. Okay, yeah, there's duplicate geometry there. Yeah. Yeah, so I had, when I was making the bricks initially, I was just duplicating the geometry and moving it around. But those two bricks specifically had a duplicate that was overlapping, so that's why it was acting all funky. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, being able to control like the colors and the displacement of the bricks through a node setup would be really neat. I might want to rebake the normal map too now because those bricks might have been funky in the normal map as well. But it's probably less noticeable in the normal map. Yeah, there we go. Switch this back to normal. Like that. Yeah, it doesn't look like that one changed, but that's fine. Image. Save as. Rick. AO. And then so just go ahead and save that one. Now we can go back into Godot and turn on ambient occlusion. Grab the Rick AO. Let's see. So I can add a mesh instance 3D. Can make it a box. And we can throw that that brick material on there. And then one cool thing we can do with this is we can set it to be a triplanar. And if we set this to 0.5, I think is what we want. World triplanar. But now we can scale this to whatever size we want, and it's going to tile correctly in all directions. Which is pretty neat. And then obviously too, we can go in and like change the color of this, make it kind of like a bluish gray. I didn't put collision on this block, but like that looks pretty good for like how little amount of work I put into making it. It looks like I probably need to resize the bricks because the way that it tiles isn't quite right. Because this row and this row are the same. But again, that's something that with the geometry nodes we can eventually get that set up exactly how we want it. I'm also gonna make a floor tile one. So this brick wall. Duplicate that and make this one stone floor. Stone tile floor. And then we will let's see. We'll make this we want it to be like roughly and then we'll do a similar similar setup where we subdivide it and we bevel it. Let's see. And then displace. We'll grab that same texture there. And both these will make this one stone tile normal. Stone tile. Another thing that I might look into soon. There's this new Blender add-on that just came out called Paint System, and it seems really cool. Because it basically gives you like a Photoshop style layers inside of Blender for texture painting. So you can do all sorts of really cool stuff, and it's all node based as well, so seems very neat. You can also like paint normal maps. Definitely want to play around with that. Alright, cool. Yeah. Gonna do a similar thing with the triplanar. This one a little bit warmer. Yeah, so that's a general idea of how the dungeons might look. I guess they don't necessarily need to be world triplanar. They just need to be triplanar. Because world triplanar means like the texture doesn't move when you move the object. Let's see. So I guess I do want it to be world triplanar. If it's not world triplanar, then the UV scale is tied to the object, but it doesn't move. The texture moves with it. But these aren't going to be moving assets, so it doesn't matter quite as much. Alright, I do want to try fixing the brick one real quick. Delete that. Alright, so what I should do is let's see. I do cursor to selected, and then I select everything, and then if I set this to cursor, and then scale it. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Let's see. That should be global, and this needs to be 3D cursor. And then if I scale it on the y-axis, and then if I space these out a little bit better. There we go. Brick normal. Okay. Switch that back to image occlusion. Pick that one. Try that again. There we go. Now if I hop back in here, there we go. That looks better. The one thing that I should also do is, let's see, on the stone floor one, let's see if let's see. I want to go to vertex paint mode. I think if I darken these a little bit. Yo, how's it going, Final Phase? I'm working on some quick and dirty texturing. Let's see. I actually don't know if I can bake the vertex color. Yeah, it's been nice and chill here. We did get like 8 inches of snow over the weekend. So that was, it was all right. All right, let me look up something real quick. Just cold and rain. That's not so bad though. But yeah, it's been pretty cold here. You know, obviously below freezing. All right, let's see. So if I add attribute. Mission. All right, so if I bake the emission from this that has a vertex color. I texted my brother today. He's in LA. Luckily, he's in a part that has not been on fire, but it's scary. He's got a bug out bag, so he's ready to leave if things get bad. But yeah. Oh, okay, I see. I need to bake the diffuse. And we only want color, I think. Let's see if that works. Did not work. I definitely want to get better at both the shader nodes and geometry nodes in Blender this year. Oh, okay, let's see. Why is it just black? Huh. Oh well. I'll figure it out later. It's not that big of a deal. What is this? It's here. How do I turn that off? I'll just delete it. I'll call this test wall. Test floor. Cool. Not bad, not bad. Especially for it just being a flat flat wall. Yeah, I'll figure out how to add more variation and do a whole node setup. I think that would be really cool. And then I might also build a separate trim sheet sort of thing, so I can have like some extra decoration on some geometry, but having just like a tiling floor and a tiling wall, and then like a special texture for the decorations, and I'll probably make a specific mesh and textures and stuff for a doorway and stuff like that. I might also want to see if I could generate some better stylized like outdoor ground textures. But yeah, I think now's a good time to wrap up. I think I got a good amount of stuff done. Let me make sure I save all my stuff. Cool. Save those images. Yeah, thanks for the save reminder. And yeah, I don't really feel like finding somebody to raid, so I'm just gonna end it here. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you had a good one. Should be back on Tuesday with the regular scheduled Tuesday, Thursday streams from now going on this year. And then I will also be doing a special birthday stream on the 25th, because that's my birthday, doing an Ocarina of Time randomizer, so look forward to that. Yeah, have a good one. Stay safe. Bye.